Public enemies. Here's the list. Okay, Louis C. Gay, liberal. K stands for Kleinfeld.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah. It actually really stands for child killer. Louis C.K. What's the first thing he does in the intro to Louis? Goes and gets a slice of pizza.
He doesn't
What the
finish
fuck?
it.
What do you think that means?
Oh, he eats it.
The comedy cellar, a basement that supposedly doesn't fucking exist.
So you think this beating off stuff is false flag? The
Guy
Pizzagate
Branum's-
guys are trying
Guy
to silence
Branum's
him.
article where he describes the comedy cellar incorrectly. That's part of a grand liberal scheme to deny the existence of basements in general by promoting false stories about them, so that they can deny that Hillary Clinton and the Podesta brothers are
Holy
kill fucking
fucking
children in the
shit.
basement of a pizza restaurant, which is real. Something to take in mind, I do have bipolar disorder. I have a history of manic behavior, and conspiracy theories are a trigger for me, so I need to look out.
Yeah, you've had some week, Nick.
I need to be careful. I haven't been sleeping a lot. It's not cocaine fueled. Mostly this time around, it's Snickers. There was a bag of Halloween candy left in our office, and my blood sugar levels are fucked up. I'll be honest. You know, I mean, it's not the drugs, but I may or may not have diabetes induced psychosis. But Pizzagate is real, folks, and we have a couple of new developments. If you followed the show, I watched a documentary a week ago, An Open Secret, where they talk about this pedophile company that was run around the turn of the millennium by 3 pedophiles, and one of them was just allowed to go into hiding. Den, yeah.
Which is also like such a sinister
Den,
name.
what is den? It's a room in a house. What do you think is under the den? That's right, folks, a fucking basement.
Yep.
Whoa, fuck.
Yeah, so anyways, Bryan Singer and Gary Goddard and Garth Ancier and David Newman were named in a lawsuit stemming from the den rapes. And the
Wait, for real?
Yeah. The guy who accused them was discredited because apparently he was some sort of financial fraud and the case fell apart. And they've been using that as a defense to smear anyone that makes these accusations.
Wait,
again.
didn't you find a burner account for like probably?
Oh yeah. So Bryan Singer's account disappeared.
Is Bryan Singer the guy with the spiky hair?
No, he directed X-Men and all that shit.
Oh right.
And Usual Suspects.
And Apt Pupil, which there was a lawsuit brought against him when he filmed Apt Pupil because, according to the complaint that was filed, he got a bunch of underage extras to strip nude and tape them nude for a shower scene.
Whoa.
And then there was an investigation that was dropped, and then the accusers was discredited, and they reshot the scene with adult extras. So, like, I don't think there was any denial that underage extras were there, and then they reshot the scene with naked adults.
Damn.
So it's like, why were the extras there?
For B-roll.
For this scene that you shot. It doesn't make any fucking sense.
Jesus Christ, imagine being that bold.
Also, in the documentary, he did the X-Men director's commentary
with this guy Brian Peck, who was then later found out to be raping children at Nickelodeon.
and is still working on children's shows.
Yeah.
Damn.
After he pled guilty to raping
What?
children.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Holy fucking shit.
Yes,
well,
that is true.
Michael Egan brought a suit against Gary Goddard, David Newman, Garth Ancier, Bryan Singer, stemming from the Den allegations that was discredited. Gary Goddard this week was outed by Anthony Edwards, an actor from the show ER, for repeatedly molesting him beginning at age 12.
He was
Holy
also
fuck.
Goose on Top Gun.
Yeah.
What? Goose?
Yeah, Goose.
Goose's fucking kids?
No, he got
Oh,
raped.
Goose got fucked?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
not Goose.
When he was a child.
Damn. That's why it's
And
so
Goose,
much
what do you
passion
think
in
Goose
that
stands
performance.
for? Gary ogled over my sexual ass.
Gary ogled over my sexually ass.
Gary Oldman.
Gary Oldman.
Everyone
Whoa, it
named
was
Gary is guilty, by the way.
Fuck.
That's how you do
Gary Oldman
conspiracy theories.
in that
Gary Oldman, take the R out of his name. What's it spell?
gay old man.
There you go.
Oh no, dude.
So, anyways,
Fuck.
yeah. Anyways,
My third eye is open, and for
Well-
once I don't mean my asshole.
the Gary Goddard
Thank you.
accusation happens. His publicist says, "Oh, we categorically deny this. This is all bullshit or whatever," and it's kind of been swept under the rug. Bryan Singer deleted his account the day the Kevin Spacey accusations came out, possibly because immediately people made the connection between Spacey and Singer, who's accused of very similar behavior.
Yeah.
So that in itself is not an admission of guilt or whatever, but then this account pops up like literally a couple hours later. It's nobody 2049. Just
Is it still out
like,
there?
Yeah, just vehemently defending Bryan Singer with like statements that make it seem like it's just Bryan. It's like he's an easy target because he's a gay man and he's very naive and he may have made some poor decisions, but that
Oh
doesn't
my
mean anything.
God.
You know, yeah, it's very weird.
He's naive.
Yeah, it's very weird.
He accidentally sucked off a
Yeah.
4.5-year-old boy.
Also-
Now, to bring it back to Pizzagate, one of the big things from Pizzagate that hasn't really been refuted as far as any kind of like mainstream
Mhm,
coverage in the New York Times
Lay it
debunked
on us.
and
Let's
Snopes is that there's another pizza restaurant called Besta Pizza that was like in the neighborhood or whatever, and the logo
Yeah, we talked about the Nambla logo.
you said the
it's the
logo is
Namba logo,
same.
and the defense is lots of companies have logos that look like triangles, and it's like, well, it's not just a triangle; it's like the literal
Yes.
logo on a slice of pizza. Could be a coincidence. It's obviously not enough of a coincidence, or not vague enough that Besta Pizza didn't change their logo as soon as people saw it and then remove that image. But the examples cited as far as other companies that have it are the AOL logo, which looks nothing like.
Yes.
It's a triangle because it's America Online, so it's an A with an O inside of it.
Right.
Not at all similar. But get this: Brock Pierce, one of the kids from
Mighty Ducks.
Mighty Ducks, but also was accused in that Den lawsuit because he's one of the 3 executives at the company, along with Mark Collins Rector. And,
Whoa, a guy from Mighty Ducks?
yeah, well,
Yeah.
in Mighty Ducks, there's a kid wearing a hockey helmet with the Nambla logo painted on the helmet.
Are you serious about this?
Somebody showed it to me. Now, the thing with Pizzagate you got to be careful of is it is a conspiracy theory, so people are very eager to just put
Photoshopping
bullshit,
shit. Yeah.
Yeah,
bullshit
yeah.
out there. Like Alephantis, the guy that owns Comet Ping Pong Pizza, he made his Instagram private as soon as his story broke, and people were like, "Look what's on his Instagram." Some of it's real, some of it's fake. The real stuff is like I can see a defense for almost all of it, you know.
The
but there
fake
is
stuff
that's
is him
weird,
getting
like
his
a picture
cock
of
rubbed.
him holding a baby, and he tagged it hashtag chicken lovers, which a chicken hawk in the gay community is somebody that likes to fuck very young men.
Whoa. Interesting.
That's weird. And then if you look at
Chicken Hawk.
if you look at the
They have
likes,
the most creative
Remember
names.
the hawk? Remember the Looney Tunes? There's that little chicken.
yeah, there was
Yeah,
friends
yeah.
with Foghorn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like so, imagine Foghorn
But
fucking
Foghorn-
that little chicken.
Fag horny, leg
Fag horny.
horny.
Leg horny.
So he likes to fuck boys' legs.
Yeah.
Which was actually a thing that I heard. a
Come give me
comic
that
do as
little
a
boy
bit. I don't know
pussy.
if it's real, but Socrates used to fuck boys' legs.
Yeah.
They would put a kid's.
In between their
Yeah,
would
there's
mash
a-
their thighs
you ever
together,
meet
and put
that-
olive oil in
You
between.
ever meet that kid
That
Lawson
thigh gap.
Leong?
Huh?
You ever meet that kid Lawson Leong?
No.
He was actually pretty funny, but he was like one of Bryson Turner's like disciples. Bryson is like, you guys didn't know Bryson. Bryson was a good
I
friend
met
of
him
mine.
very briefly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was like kind of a guy that was like almost too talented for the position he was in, where he just like didn't have.
Doggy style.
If I had to be
Thank you.
critical, I would say that he didn't have the patience to wait until he found more success and kind of spun out in this stand-up philosophy sort of thing. But he had a couple of guys under him. One of them was Lawson Leong, who was
Everyone
who's
who
actually pretty funny. But
Yeah.
I don't know if he does stand-up anymore. But he was doing a bit one time I saw him, and he's like, "Yeah, like I think about like so Socrates, the Greeks." He used to take boys, and they would do this thing where they wouldn't molest the boys. They would push their legs together to make a fake pussy, and then fuck the legs.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that was Socrates, the guy. You know,
Yes.
it was a very funny bit.
Yeah. Yo, imagine what regular ass Greek people were doing to little boys.
yeah.
If fucking Socrates, who's probably a gay ass
Yeah.
nerd of his day,
Well, this is what
Yeah.
you know.
there is a weird
Gotta.
Pizzagate thing.
What about the farmers were doing?
Alephantis's Instagram picture was a statue of this like Greek guy that was like either a deity or like some kind of either myth. It might have even been a historical
god
figure. I didn't really look
sort of
into it
figure.
too
Yeah,
much,
yeah.
you know. Which, I mean, you know, I'm googling all these things so rapidly and doing lines, and like I don't have time to research every element. The guy, it's like a Greek figure that is like an idol for fucking boys.
Ooh, Ephivos.
It was
No,
a
I don't know
different
if that's his
one. I don't
name.
know. Yeah, it's Stavros.
Yeah.
James Alephantis account Stavi Baby 3. Check it out.
It's a fat guy hiding children in his fat fold somewhere.
Yeah.
You have to find
Savi
him.
baby. Wow. The plot thickens.
Guys, don't turn the
Wow.
don't turn an
Wow,
eye
are
towards
you
me.
Pizzagate?
Keep me out of this, guys. Let's focus on the.
'Cause
Let's
I feel
focus.
like
Protect me at all costs.
feel
Well,
like
I've
if
been sucked
We don't
into
give
the
up our
world
own.
of blind items in this secret Hollywood pedophilia ring, and I mean, it's like you look at the Catholic Church and British Parliament and shit, and even Subway Jared. It's like Subway Jared was trying to turn children into prostitutes, and he somehow had enough power to make all these people complicit in this fucking operation,
Right.
and it's literally
the guy who
it's-
sold sweet
it's-
onion chicken teriyakis.
he has zero transferable skills. It's not like fucking he leaves Subway. And
They
he can,
weren't
like-
good commercials either.
They weren't good commercials.
What the fuck?
He has no charisma. There's like
Zero.
nothing. There's nothing that
He fucked every lineup. Never
Yeah.
were you like, wow, that was a good read. It was like he fucking won a contest to be in a commercial
they stopped
every
giving
time.
him lines after a while.
right.
'cause
His
he
job was
that
to
bad.
smile, and he couldn't even do that.
yeah,
well.
yeah. It was so fucked up.
His only thing that he has on his resume is holding up big pants.
That's
and-
all you need to
and
be able to
that's-
fuck kids in America.
That was the man that was protected and insulated by power. So imagine like what could the possibilities be if you're somebody that has, I don't know, a net worth of fucking $6 billion,
Right.
David
right.
Geffen.
like Geffen, and his co-founder of DreamWorks, Steven Spielberg,
Oh, shit.
who there's again, and this is all rumor and conjecture. So
E.T.,
you're
get
not allowed to
fucked in
hire the Mossad
ass.
to kill me for saying this
Yeah.
because I'm saying allegedly.
Yes.
You know, but this is what's crazy. I read a blind item that said there was a popular 80s show, and back in the mid 80s, like fucking kids was all the rage in
Everything.
Hollywood. And
Even
you know
if
what?
you think in Hollywood at some point, even if you weren't a pedophile, you had to fuck a kid to fit in.
I mean, if
Or
I'm
rape a
being real
woman.
about it, what I think is that. So you have like the sexual revolution in like the late 60s, the
Right.
free love movement,
Mm-hmm.
and then you also have this new crop of like Hollywood, like big stars and direct people now that are fucking icons, permanent A-listers that are coming around, guys like Spielberg or whatever.
Yeah,
but
Scorsese,
Hollywood doesn't
Coppola.
really understand any kind of ideology, and they don't have any real empathy. So the free love movement is then turned into a product by Hollywood, and what the free love movement is rampant exploitation of people and fucking whoever you want, and that's sort of embraced by these people with all this power as like this libertine sort of thing. So I would say that pederasty and child fucking was like something sort of kept in secret in Hollywood, but embraced as like, oh, we're artists. This is just what
Right,
fucking
I was
artists
about
do.
to say that.
right.
Like,
And then
They're not
the
prudes.
the boomers, like all the free love hippies that turned into Wall Street boomer yuppies in the fucking 1980s and abandoned all that shit and justified their disgusting greed with, yeah, but we protested the Vietnam War. The exact same thing is happening in Hollywood with the exploitation of children and women and all this shit. So the 80s is where that would blow up into this
Right.
giant secret kid fucking world. So I read a blind item that says that this little girl who had a career in her own right came to star on a show that, interestingly enough, was filmed on the lot that I used to work on
Whoa.
at Hollywood Center
Ooh.
Studios,
okay.
and Jeopardy used to be filmed there.
Alex Trebek raped children. I got
And
it.
Alex didn't, but
Okay.
but the story is that all these
Take my man's
producers-
name out of your mouth.
What is sucking my dick for
They-
100,
yeah.
Alex?
They had the girl dance
Nice.
on.
Thank you.
They had the girl dance on the Jeopardy stage in a bikini while all these like 4 rows of
What?
producers all like beat off to her, and then 3 of them took her in the back and like raped her. I guess.
What?
And it caused
The producers of Jeopardy were
no,
raping
not
kids?
the producers of
On the
Jeopardy
stage.
on the set because it's a lot and there's a bunch of shit there. I don't think Alex Trebek has sex. I think Alex Trebek is probably the only person in Hollywood that doesn't have dirt on him.
So you're saying they just used the Jeopardy stage as a fuck
yeah,
party?
Yeah.
And then so somebody runs out and gets like the set medic because the blind item says that somebody inserted something into the girl's ass and she was having like a
Wait,
medical.
The
What
Daily
is the-
Double
what
was,
is the
was when
blind
they put
item?
both of
Blind
their
items
dicks in her pussy?
are like Hollywood gossip rumor blogs, but they frame everything like a certain celebrity or a certain star.
Just
Yeah, that way they can't get like sued or
was
whatever.
spotted canoodling.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
kind of shit. So people in the blind, and you know what's crazy? There's one called Crazy Days and Nights, and there's this guy him that comments on a lot of the posts, and they have like all this inside information. And the theory is that it's Robert Downey Jr., but
Whoa.
Robert Downey Jr. has denied it. But I
Damn.
mean, you look at every fucking child star and how fucked up they are, and it's like, oh yeah, it's because they're not famous anymore. There's plenty of people that aren't famous anymore or that had success
It was
that don't
because they were
anymore.
molested.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was
they
because
got
they were repeatedly
fucked
abused.
as hell. You know Robert Downey Jr. got
Well,
fucked big
in
time.
the documentary, like they show Corey Feldman on The View sitting next to Barbara Walters.
Yo, and Barbara Walters basically gave him like a
Yeah.
don't snitch.
Yeah, Barbara Walters. Yeah, Barbara Walters is like Corey Feldman's looking like a fucking psycho, like Michael Jackson, jet black, dyed hair, like looking scared as fuck and like
Yeah.
dressed like out of his mind.
Yeah.
And Barbara Walters is like sort of shitting on him. He's like,
Yeah.
you'd be so surprised the amount of people that are involved in this, and it is some
Well,
of the most
dude,
powerful
seriously,
people.
Barbara
in
Because
Walters
you're
Hollywood.
was like-
damaging an entire industry.
Right. They fucked his ass when he was 8.
Barbara
What do you
Wawa,
want?
dude.
Yeah. Come on, Babs.
Yeah.
Bab
well,
wa wa.
Amber brought this
By the
up,
way,
is that-
you ever
that
see those
people-
pictures of Barbara Walters when she was dressed as a Playboy
Yeah, she
bunny?
could get it, dude.
She had big
Amber
titties.
brought this up is that people are trying to drag David Bowie for fucking a 15-year-old after he died, and that's not like in dispute or whatever.
Okay.
Oh,
I
yeah,
guess he
yeah.
fucked a 15-year-old.
Yo,
Now-
Led Zeppelin used to fuck like 13 years. It was fucked up.
Yeah,
dude.
yeah,
Didn't
yeah.
they put a squid in someone's pussy?
They put a red snapper in her red snapper 'cause she had red hair.
Pink
She had a red
snapper.
pussy.
Well,
Yeah.
the-
her pussy was red.
It's
blood red.
Very
this,
rare.
The
Very rare.
behavior that people are saying is occurring is like, first of all, we're talking in past tense. In the 1980s is when this was all a fucking issue, and there's documented evidence of that kind of behavior being like not acceptable really, but sort of like fringe taboo behavior.
100%,
that people
yeah.
are just like, no, whatever.
Groupies like that. Rock stars just fucked children. It was weird. and fucked
Yeah.
up. So this is like 10 years after that. If you think about it, you know what I mean? Like they're trying to be cool. There's a bunch of fucking nerds that are like, oh, we're cool. We fuck like, hot young actresses. But to them, young and hot is like fucking 14 because they're fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
And also they were just child molesters.
it's like it's got to just be a thing that was sort of acceptable in this circles as like again like this libertine weird behavior
right,
that
right.
people turn a blind eye
It's
to.
quirky.
and yeah,
It's quirky to fucking jack off a
and
little
they're not
kid.
going to be
Well,
able
it's like
to
when-
fucking hide it forever.
Yeah.
Well, it's like what Nick said before. Like, it makes sense that people with these proclivities would be attracted to the arts because, like, there's always a lot of permissions made for creative people, and that's like why like they're finding so many of these people like entrenched in Hollywood because they escape to these worlds because they think that they can protect themselves that way. They're not just some dudes in Florida like trying to like fuck 12-year-old girls because those dudes get caught. You know,
I don't know. Do they?
I don't know. Maybe I assume they do.
I was talking about all that. I forget. I was talking about To Catch a Predator with somebody, and they're like, "Yeah." And didn't they find out that like Chris Hansen also?
I
fucked
thought
kids?
that too. Yeah.
I mean, I didn't hear that.
No,
but
no. That's just a fun rumor. 'cause
Yeah.
it would
Was
be
that
hilarious.
a fun rumor?
I mean,
Yeah.
It would be so funny.
That's so funny.
Yeah, if Chris
Yeah.
Hansen was fucking kids, that's
Mhm.
the funniest
Well, it
thing
makes
that's ever
sense.
happened.
Any like
Yeah, Chris Hansen showed up naked to Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? He's like, I'm sorry. Why
Can
don't
I
I
take
go
a
have a
s-
seat over
yeah,
here?
yeah. Why don't I go have a seat?
Yeah.
He's interviewing himself.
Yeah. JP made me laugh. We were making fun of that show, and he was saying that there should be a show called Are You Older Than a Fifth Grader? And they just blow the budget on the first episode. I'm like, I'm 37. Whoa, damn! Well, I guess there goes the $1 million.
But the trick is, it's a fucking very, very mentally retarded
Yeah.
person
And I
who's,
guess
who's been held back for
Yeah.
40 years.
Well, the thing with all the
Oh,
symbols
so
too,
they're
I got
fifth grade.
I got into this
Yeah.
argument yesterday, and Amber, you feel free to
Oh,
jump in if you want
Ernest
because
just farted.
it was
Ernest.
Yeah, that's the grossest thing we've talked about all
Yeah.
episode.
well, the way people refute the symbols claim, like, well, why would these people just put out
Leave
symbols?
clues.
But they're not clues. Like, if this was a
Mhm.
type of behavior that was pushed into some kind of subculture, like the way like pedophiles communicate with each other, they don't think like we're doing something evil. It's like these people turn it into an identity and they think it's justified. The same that any other subculture does, like furries or whatever, and then they have their own symbols. And,
Yes,
and
yeah.
I mean, like that's any population does that. They create, like messaging and language and iconography to help each other identify and bond over something.
Like the
So-
Hell's Angels.
It's not
Red Wings.
it's not far fetched
Eating
to
pu-
say
eating bloody
that,
pussy.
that somebody with a shit ton of power who gets away with fucking children for decades would put the logo of NAMBLA, you know, in the you know wherever.
How
they
awesome would it
fucking
be if they had like they just all had NAMBLA tattoos? Like
Yeah.
David Geffen just had a fucking on his bicep. You can just
Yeah.
see it in like hundreds of pictures.
yeah. But then there is plenty of shit that with like Pizzagate that's kind of like just bullshit, and it fucks up the credibility of the whole thing.
Yeah.
I also don't think there's actually a basement there, and I don't think that they're
That they're
fucking children
kids.
at a pizza restaurant.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, that doesn't make any sense.
No.
If you have global elites that are allowed, I mean, they
Yeah.
caught a guy who had an airplane to fly people to a child
Right.
fucking island.
right,
You know, they're
right.
like, everybody cram into the walk-in freezer.
Yeah, no,
We've got a
It's-
fresh boy.
it's not even like a good part of DC. It's like this weird
It's like
part of like
northwest, yeah, yeah.
northeast DC. No one fucking
Yeah,
goes
yeah.
to, or northwest DC, like Van Ness.
It's upper northwest.
Yeah,
Check
yeah,
this
it's so
out, though.
fucking
There's
weird.
right there. There's Glover Park, right?
Yeah.
Clover Park. You know what Clover is?
No.
Stands for
A little
sea
boy's
lover,
ass.
child lover.
Whoa.
That's part of their whole thing.
Grover rhymes
Damn,
with Clover.
Mhm.
Sea lover, child lover. God
I'm so
damn.
glad you haven't slept in 7 days
Yeah.
because you are firing on all cylinders,
Look, the
Nick.
bottom line is I'm an entertainer. That's what I exist for.
You're doing this for your art.
I'm a broadcaster. It's in my soul. I
Yeah.
can't do
A lot of
anything,
people are
but-
fucking kids. Like that Republican guy who like fucked a teen or like dated
Right.
a teen and shit.
Yeah, Roy
and now
Moore.
George Takei is a fucking dick grabber.
George Takei,
right?
and then all these people are rushing to George Takei's defense with the exact same arguments that they were slamming, like 2 weeks ago. Like, oh, there's only one accuser. Whatever happened
Right.
to innocent
Right,
until proven
right,
guilty.
right,
And it's
right.
like you got rid of that. You
Right.
fucking argued for years that believing victims was more important than protecting the integrity of somebody that's been accused of a crime.
But listen,
Come over here and let me suck that little.
America
boy pussy.
needs those memes to fight Trump right now.
I'm
and that's
horny.
the only reason you're fucking defending him because
We-
of
we
Grumpy
need-
Cat.
Yeah.
Because he showed
We
you
need
fucking
those grumpy
Success
cats.
Kid or whatever.
I'm horny and I want to fuck a man.
Yeah. Well,
Was
the
he in an
icing
internment
on the
camp?
cake is
Yeah.
he was
Yeah,
in an
yeah.
internment camp, which again, FDR had the right idea. That was
Ooh, actually, yeah. now in
FDR
hindsight,
FDR is responsible for every good policy that's happened in America.
FDR was trying to jail a gay predator.
And they want to say that internment camps are a stain on his record or whatever, and it's not. We're finding out now that George Takei's
he saved so many
single
little
instance
boys.
of groping somebody 40 years ago
He just saved
is
America from George Takei. Yeah.
Well, Takei denies it, but he was on Stern like 3 weeks ago, and Stern was like, "Yeah, but I mean, like the the Weinstein thing. It's like, George, you've never like groped anybody without their permission."
Oh, it was 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, and Takai's like, "Well, I'm not going to say that," and he's like, "What, you have?" And he's like, "Yes."
Yes.
Like,
Sometimes I'll grab a
Yeah.
man's penis.
and then his defense is, but with these, it's not about sex; it's about power. So his defense is because
he's too horny.
because
He's horny.
because it was about sex.
He's doing it for the love of the game.
So keep in mind, folks, if you want to rape somebody, you better make sure you come. You better bust the fattest load inside of your victim.
we want to see that fucking.
prove
Yeah. Oh yeah.
that it's about sex.
Bring it in a little cup.
Yeah, Your Honor, I took naked pictures of the dead body, and I've been jacking off to them for weeks. This is
I'm
not
in
about
love.
power. This is about sex.
Damn. Let me suck your cock.
Yeah. The Charlie Sheen
Stop
thing.
being
You know
a
what?
bitch.
Charlie Sheen, I believe the story.
Oh,
I
that's right. We
believe-
haven't talked about.
We
that's
haven't
right.
because we didn't
It
have
happened
time.
right after.
All
yeah,
this
yeah.
shit has happened in the span of 3 days.
This is crazy.
The Charlie Sheen thing, I believe, happened. I believe that but what again it seems like is that Charlie Sheen probably had just a homosexual relationship with Corey Haim when Corey Haim was 13 and Charlie Sheen was 19.
That's raping a child.
It is. It
Yeah.
is. But the way in the story it's defended is Charlie Sheen tells him, Feldman, in Feldman's accusations from years ago, where he wouldn't actually name Charlie Sheen because the person that did it is known for threatening to kill people, which is like Charlie Sheen's move.
right.
Dude, Tiger Blood.
Yeah,
man.
and
God, what a crazy person.
yeah, and you know, the justification from Sheen was like, this is just what guys in Hollywood do.
We fuck.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
fuck
He's like,
boys.
yeah, it's normal for one actor to fuck another actor. You know, like this is that. Like that was the justification, which means Charlie Sheen was probably horrifically sodomized
For sure.
you know, for years, and then he's like, yeah, this is just what guys do, and it feeds
think-
into the idea that there's a cycle of abuse, you know, where that behavior is normalized within these like secret Hollywood communities or whatever, and I mean, like that's probably what happened. But reading more into it, because I didn't pay. You know what's funny is like all of this shit has always been online. I just didn't care because I'm not a gay man, so I don't read celebrity news.
Yeah.
Like I really don't.
Yeah,
care.
Adam,
Like,
why haven't you told us all about
Yeah,
all the
right.
stuff
Adam
from
knew about
I
Celebrity
all
keep
News?
it to myself.
First ass. He had a first ass account of all of this.
Do you think the Sutherlands and do you think Kiefer Sutherland's dad ever traded
Donald?
Martin Sheen? You think Martin and Donald traded sons and fucked
well,
each other's
here's
sons?
what's interesting is Martin Sheen and Michael Douglas are the same person. A lot of people don't want to admit that, but they're the same exact guy.
Okay.
And Kirk Douglas raped. Who did he rape? Didn't Kirk Douglas rape?
Marlon Brando?
I don't know.
No,
Did he?
yeah, because that was part of some. Because it was part of like the accusations that included Ryan O'Neal raping somebody else.
A woman
or Kirk
or a man?
Douglas beat some woman or something.
Maybe. Yeah. I'm not
Allegedly.
familiar.
Yeah, it's also you have to take into consideration is that these people think that fucking children keeps you alive forever, right?
Well,
Douglas-
honestly, celebrities do
Kirk
have pretty
Douglas is
long-
not
They
dead.
live long.
Kirk
Mm.
Douglas,
Yeah, he's like
Kirk Douglas was
90-something.
born in 1870.
Very interesting. Yeah,
He's
that's
like
right.
that old gay turtle.
That's
He's
right.
like-
yeah.
He's like
Jonathan.
tortoise. Jonathan.
Jonathan the gay
the
tortoise.
gay turtle.
I love
The old gay
Jonathan,
tortoise.
dude.
Yo, you're right.
Born in
Honestly,
1832.
so do you think the celebrities that look the best, like the Sandra Bullock fuck kids? Because she looks great.
Well, here's what you need to consider
Yes.
is
The answer is yes.
so remember during the election the whole conspiracy that Hillary Clinton has Parkinson's?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Now that didn't start
Ooh.
happening. She started coughing and then eventually collapsed.
Uh-huh.
That all began when Pizzagate broke. So
she quit fucking kids cold
they
turkey.
had to stop.
Mm.
They had to stop doing it because people were hot on their trail.
Yep.
So the ass power she was
get-
acquiring-
So you think they inject what they injected her with was little boy cum?
It's
Yeah.
stem
When
cells.
when she
Stem
passed
cells
out.
from
She
the
said,
little
"I
boy
feel
cum."
great." You know what great stands for? Getting raped, enjoying another toddler.
Oh man! Wow, dude, that was beautiful to
Thanks,
watch
dude.
you pull that out at the end.
You touched it. You crushed it.
You are.
I like that. Like probably the best evidence that I have like a mental illness and that I'm able to like make these connections
Yeah.
is that I can do initialisms that quickly.
yeah.
Fake acronym.
That just proves it's all bullshit.
Oh fuck, man!
Ugh.
Damn.
So you
So-
gonna like take a nap or something, or
No, I'm gonna
what's
kill
the
myself.
plan? You gonna kill yourself?
I'm gonna ramp up and go really fucking nuts and probably try
He's-
to kill myself again.
He's gonna
Come
go. He's
on.
gonna fucking. He's gonna drive to Los Angeles when David Geffen's in court, and as soon as they say he's guilty, Nick's gonna fucking pull a fucking suicide
vest?
bomber vest and just to
Yeah.
go out that way.
So this is an interesting story. In 1998,
Hit me.
a man was arrested outside of Steven Spielberg's house. And he
Uh-oh.
had razors and rope. And he was
Whoa.
planning on, by his own admission, raping Steven Spielberg.
Whoa.
The man was
What?
gonna- yeah.
He was not a Schindler's List fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the guy was like schizophrenic or whatever, and they gave him, he got like 25 years for it. He just went to prison
Mm-hmm.
for a long ass time. Keep in mind, you can rape a child, and if you're rich enough, you do what?
Dog,
10 months?
you said he got 25. My man's 5. Maybe with good behavior, he might be out soon.
Yeah.
98,
Yeah.
2017.
Yeah.
Let's find him and get him on the pod.
Yeah.
Yo, can we get that guy on the podcast for real?
Absolutely.